So everybody able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's start how RF will work. Means RF in the sense, RF means two pipe command, right? RF, right? So let's see how this works and what is the purpose we use this RF. Okay. So when we are using RF, that help us to give in between in between the commands, in between the conditions. Okay. Say suppose if I want to run, you can use directly code as a command to open scripting in bash. Either you can use notepad. Okay. Notepad. Notepad is a command when you want to open uh, file in Windows or notepad. Okay. Notepad script1.sh. So notepad will get opened. I'll move the script. Okay. And save this. So I'm gonna write a new script for using and if RF, the very first line of scripting as explanatory. So able to see my screen, right? Notepad. Okay. Hash explanatory slash bin slash bash, right? And I'm gonna define echo hyphen n. Echo hyphen n used to print the statement in the terminal to ask something, to ask user input. Okay, if echo hyphen n is used to print the user input. Okay, echo hyphen n enter enter any number. Okay, now soon after that I'm gonna use read n, means whatever you entered in the terminal, it will read that number particularly. Okay, so read n, read is the command, so I think we have used it, right? So read is the command to read the above value, whatever we entered in terminal as a user input. Okay, I'm gonna start with if loop. If okay, I'll open two braces, dollar n equals to hyphen eq, because I'll be using numeric comparison operators 15, and I'm gonna use dollar n equals to 45 and close the bracket, close the bracket. Then see there are two conditions here, one first condition and the second condition. In between I've used RF. Okay, let me explain how why I used RF. Echo let's give the statement this way: build success else build failed. Just a message. Okay, not we are not building any build here. Okay, and then close fi. So this is a script using RF. Okay, so here first line is basically shebang. Okay, and the second line hyphen n, echo hyphen n will expect the user input, whatever the number that we provide, it will read by read n. So here is the parameter to read the number, the user input number. Okay, so I'm gonna start two conditional loops. In between I've added RF. Okay, so why we use RF is if this first condition satisfies only, it moves to the second conditional loop. So if it fails, It will not move to this. That's what the RF we use. Okay. So when we use this, say suppose when you have multiple requirements, you want to check either the given number is whether you will get a success message or not. If dollar number, the above given number is 15 or 45, only it prints the build success. Other than these numbers, you will get build failure. Okay, let's run the script. So you understood this scenario. So basically, if this condition satisfies, if this condition true only, it moves to the next. Means either of, I mean, either of one, it will check a condition. If the number is 15 or 45, it will check the given number. Okay. Now let's run this. I will close the script and I'll come to git bash and I'm gonna run script.sh. So enter any number. Are we getting this input? Let's say I'm gonna print 4. Okay. So when I point 4, read n will read this number. Okay. So what we are getting build failed means. So why we are getting build failed at script1.sh. So the build fail means, see, the above condition is saying only $n. The given number is equals to 15 or equals to 45 only. See, it will check these two condition. If there are only these numbers are available, we will get this message. Else it moves to the else loop. Getting my point? Suppose if I run, okay, if I run 15, so I'll give the 15 as the number. So are we getting this build success? So either of one condition will check by using this RF. Suppose if the file size you want to check, okay, say you file size you will not get exactly right. Either you need to put a command if dollar file size is equals to 40 MB RF and dollar file size is equal to 70 MB. Right, in between the range we can point and we'll get a exact output. Okay, getting my point? So let's say I'm gonna pass 45, so we'll get build success. Means only the numbers when I point 15 and 45 only will get build success. So to get either of these two condition get satisfied, we use RF. Clear with this? Clear with this, everybody?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So anybody has any questions and any doubts here? Okay, so I'm gonna
Sir, this
send.
echo hyphen n as well as this read hyphen p both are same, sir.
Echo, what is it? Echo?
Echo hyphen n as well as read hyphen p both are same, sir. Like they are saying,
No. Echo hyphen n is to enter the number, and read n will read the number that you entered here.
okay.
Okay, this echo hyphen n, let me show here. See, it is asking a number, right?
Yes.
This will prints echo hyphen n to print user input. And read n will read the user input, whatever the number that you provide here. Read
Okay.
n will read the 67, which you entered in your terminal.
Sir, you have written read n in the next line, but it is not going to the next line. It is displaying that 67 in the same row, na, sir. Like in the script, na, sir, read n is in the below line, na, sir. But here, enter any number, it is in the same line. I was thinking like it should go to next line, that 67. It is not
Which
like
line?
that, sir. Next line. Enter any number, you have written 67, sir.
On your question, the if loop is in fourth line. Is it printing in your terminal? Then how it will read in backend? And it is printing only the messages, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
So basically, it will read in backend.
uh,
Getting my point?
yes, sir.
Hmm. And also you can use set-x in debug mode. So I'll open this script, notepad script.sh. So I will use set-x. So you can use this in any of the scripting. The script will run in debug mode. It will print all the requirement of all the each line. It will print of the working mode. Okay. So say suppose if I use just set-x in below the below the shebang. Okay. So it will print enter any number and enter any number read in. So if I point 4 T5, and you can see it is reading both the conditions. 45 is equals to 15 and 45 is equals to 45. It will print both the condition which we provided in the script, and it is saying to print the build success. That is the reason it is printing. So wherever you see plus, those are all debugged mode from scripting. And this is also, see, wherever you see plus, it is an user input, how the script is executing. Okay. Plus echo hyphen n, enter any number, we need to enter a number, and the read n will read that particular number. Do you see this, Lakshmi Putra? When you use set hyphen x, who's asked that? You only know.
No, sir. I asked
Yes.
you.
Hmm. So do you see this input? It is moving
Yes,
into
sir.
next line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, so similarly, you can use set-x in your script. Control notepad, notepad script1.sh. So if you can use this in set-x in your script, you can see the user input is provided from the scripting, and it moves to the next line, right? Let me rerun it. Close the script. So when you close this notepad only, it will allow you to run. Okay. So it is saying plus, where you see plus, it is asking us to enter a number, and plus read n. So whatever the number that we provide, it will read by read n, 78. And if I provide, where you see build failed, why? Because it is showing both the conditions. 78 is equals to 15 and 78 is equals to 45. Based on this, do you see this output when we use set-x?
Yes, sir.
So
It is
the thing
checking
is,
both the conditions.
yes, the
None of the
condition
conditions is true, so
right,
that is why it is. Yes, sir.
condition is not satisfied. That is the reason it is printing build failed, and that is the reason we are getting this output. That's what these three lines will explained in scripting when we use set-x, and even this as well. Okay, use set-x in your script, and even here as well. Control set cat script 1.sh. So this is for Arif. Okay. And similarly, how do we use and if? Okay. So and if is same but slight different, because we also use similar condition. Instead of Arif, we also use and if when we have a two conditions loop in single state, single if loop, single. So just a minute please. sorry. So RF will identify either of these two condition, one will get satisfied. Okay. And similarly for and if, I'm gonna write a script for and if as well. I'll open notepad script1.sh. Let's keep the set-x and I will remove this completely. And using and if, I'm gonna write one scenario. The given number is even or odd. Okay, using and if. So that read, I'm gonna keep it as in terms of file size. Okay, so I'm gonna use echo -n. So here also I'll use the same scenario. Enter a number. Okay, and this number I will read it as read is a variable file size. Okay, read file size. The number, whatever the number the user is entering here, I'll read it as file size. Okay, and I'm gonna start if loop. Okay, if dollar file size. Why? Because I'm reading it as in terms of dollar size as an user input. Okay, dollar file size greater than or equals to 0. Okay, and if I'll open a dollar file size divided by %2 and close the bracket is equals to 0. Okay, and close the bracket, then echo the given number is even, okay, else echo the given number is odd. Yes, odd, and I'll close fi. Okay, so basically here I'll be using the same logic by modifying the given number. I'm reading it via the variable called file size. Okay, this variable I'm gonna use it in the same conditional loop in between and if. Okay, so what this and if will do, okay, so in case of and if, it will check for the first condition. If this satisfies only, it moves to the second condition. But in case of RF, it will check either of one. If this satisfies this or this, so either of one it will check. But in case of and if the condition is satisfies this only, it'll move to the next condition. Okay, now let me explain this if loop conditions. If the dollar file size, the given number which is read by read file size is greater than or is equal to 0, move to next condition. So that's what and if will do, whatever the condition that you define using the numeric operators or using string operators. Okay, now if this satisfies, let's move to the next condition. The next condition is saying dollar file size, the percentage represents divide the file size. Suppose if you given number 4 divided by 2, what is the number? 2. Again it will divide. 2 divided by 2 is 0. 0 is equals to 0. This satisfies, right? That is the reason I've used this to get the given number is even or odd. So the logic that I wanted to get, whatever the number that you entered, so the script should easily identifies the given number is even or odd. Okay, so you were able to understand this logic. Clear with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm gonna run this using set-x. I'll keep set-x for the debug mode. Debug mode in the sense you will be in, you can understand, I need to close, you can understand where the script is executing and what exactly that we are getting. Okay, /script1.sh, and we need to enter a number. This number, whatever we entered, it will take it as a variable. Suppose if I enter 56, it will read file size value of a variable is 56. Okay, now, okay, syntax error, conditional expression. Okay, line number, let's debug. See, this is what we need to debug. Okay, see, ನೀವು ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, you will get an error, that's okay, but try to resolve that. Okay, again I'll open line number 5. I'll go to line number 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Let's check this condition. Okay, I have defined, I opened braces. Okay, space I missed here. I opened and closed, and there is one more braces I have opened and closed here, and this is one more brace I have opened and closed, and the brace I have opened and closed, and echo the given number is even and the given number is odd. I think I have missed this space here. So whatever the condition that you start, give a space, and ends, give a space. Okay, and ends with loop and provide the space. Let's see. Save this, close the notepad, and execute the script. Okay, I'm going to enter some number 78. Okay, so it is saying, are you able to see this condition? The loop, when you use set-x, so it will say enter a number, and the read file size, the 78 value, it is read by file size is a variable, and it is giving both the condition 78 is equal to 0 and 0 is equal to 0. So why it came 0? Anybody aware of it? For the second condition,
It is
It gives remainder.
dividing by 2 and the remainder is 0, sir.
yes, exactly. So that is the reason it is 0, means that's why we are getting an output, the given number is even. If the remainder is coming 0, it is coming as even. Okay, if it is non-zero, minus, when we provide a minus value, we'll get an odd. Okay, let's close this, close everything, and I will give minus values. Okay, minus 68. So the given number is odd. Why? Because it is, see, you can see here, minus 67 is greater than 0. Minus
No.
67 is greater than or equal to 0. No, right? We are getting the given number is odd. So to get this output, the logic that I've implemented here is notepad script1.sh. The logic that I've implemented here is, see, the input, I'm reading it as file size is a variable. You can also define any variable, like you can keep dev. Okay, here $dev. Okay, you can use this. Okay, so you can modify this variable name to read as that number, and similar variable you have to use it in your scripting. Getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep this as file size only. File size, and here also file size. Right, and I'm gonna give this in notepad. Okay, and so are you able to understand this RF and UNDIF? The usage of UNDIF and RF? Okay. Okay, now we have used uh, the wget or the curl command, right? So we have used the curl command, and we also use wget, right? So let's see how do we use the wget from the above script, and how do we use the dollar question mark in the scripting. Let's explore on it. So wget is basically to download a file, correct, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
have you guys run the curl and executed the script, right? And you had checked the HTTPS status, right? And now using wget, let's download one of the file from Google or from the link. So basically I have the compiler link to get downloaded. I'll use the same script. Okay. So one of the scenario I have used it in my project. So I'll give that. Okay. Let's close this notepad. Okay. I'll open the same. Let's keep setfnx as default, and rest of the thing I'll delete. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'll define file URL. File URL is to download it from Google. So I'll give this in double quotes. Okay, https colon slash www.gnu. It's basically the compiler link. Okay, .org slash with licenses. Okay, slash GPL -3 dot 0 dot txt. Okay, so this is the file. Here is the file where I used in my project to download it. Is basically the compiler file, text file, GNU. Anybody aware of the compiler? GNU compiler? Yes or no?
No.
No,
So basically,
no,
let's say
sir.
this is the URL where the file is gpl3.txt. This is the URL. Let's go this way. Okay, this I'm gonna download it by using wget. Okay, I'll use wget with what? What is my variable?
File underscore
URL.
URL.
Okay,
Link
that's
name.
the case. What should I do?
Dollar file.
Dollar
File URL.
file URL, correct? Dollar file URL, and I'm gonna start if loop, conditional loop, open and close the braces. If dollar question mark is equals to is equals to 0. What does this dollar question mark will do? What
That's
is
Status
the
it?
last
last
executed.
executed command.
Okay, if that is the case, what is the last executed command?
Duplicate.
Wget.
Duplicate.
Exactly. So dollar question mark means here we are defining a command wget. Instead of passing this URL directly, I'm defining that URL in a variable called file URL, and wget followed by this dollar file URL means this is the command, the last executed command. If the status is 0, dollar question mark is equals to 0, then echo file downloaded successfully, correct? So I can give this message, right? File downloaded successfully. Else what? Echo file download failed. correct? And close what? Close
F5.
what?
File.
Correct. And are you guys able to understand the script? So basically, using wget, we download it from URL. Okay, whatever the URL is having, either compiler or text file or .csv, anything, right? So using that, we can download it. So here I'm defining it as URL, file URL in terms of variable, right? So that variable I'll be using it wget followed by URL. So this is my command. And if I use if dollar question mark is used to check the status of last executed command. If it is zero, success. If it is non-zero, failure. Here for dollar question mark, what is the last executed command? Wget is the last executed command. If it downloads, if the status is zero, then it should print a message download successfully. Means if this downloads only if the last executed command is status is zero, or if it is downloads only, it prints this message. If not, it prints file download failed. Clear with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's execute this. Okay. /script1.sh. File download failed. Okay. Wget command not found. Okay. Wget will not work in git bash. Let's log into server and connect to that server. I'm logging in server. I'm connecting it. Let's run this same script from the server, because I'm not running all the script from server, because wget is a Linux command. Okay. So the git bash belongs to Windows. Let's log into server. I did not log in, I think.
Sir, same with server too, sir.
Same with
Server.
server.
Yes, yes.
Have you
I'm
tried?
showing. Yes, yes.
So is wget installed in your server?
Yes, sir.
Can you check the version?
I'll check. Just give me a minute.
Yes. Captcha P6.
Sir, I don't know, or else I'll install the wget.
Now, have you installed wget and checking the version for wget?
So wget space ---- version, right?
Yes, wget space ---- version.
Sir, either we can check manually that URL.
Manually check. What do you? I did not get your question.
So whatever URL you passed, right?
Yes, we can check manually.
Yeah,
Yes, we can
whether
check.
it is working.
Yes. So what I will do, I will open. Okay, here is the URL. When I browse this in browser, it should get downloaded. Control C, and I'm gonna point it here is in the browser. It is giving. It is working. It's basically the txt file.
It's, yeah. Correct.
So it should work. When I run from scripting also, it should work. So this is what I've entered the URL. Let's see. Let's log in from server.
Okay, sir.
And Control C. Close this. And SSH-I Linux key and Ubuntu @IP address is this. Okay, now if I do ls, okay, I'll open vi script.sh. Okay, this is from curl. So I'll remove this entire. I'll use set-x here. Set-x. For the debug mode, I'm gonna copy the entire script. Where is the script then? Shit, I did not copy it yet. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna write it from one more time. File URL. File URL is equals to, within a double quote, I'll copy this URL from the Control C browser and put it here. Paste. Okay. And then wget followed by dollar file URL. Correct. File URL. Okay. If dollar question mark is equals to 0, right? Is equals to 0, then echo file downloaded successfully. Okay, and then else echo file download failed. Okay, and then close Fi. Correct. Escape wp explanatory. So suppose if I get the same output, let's have to install wget. So in my case, wget is installed. It is downloaded. File downloaded successfully. Okay. So when I check wget hyphen version, so wget is installed. Yes. The wget version I'm using it as 1.21.4. Okay, clear with this script. So it is downloaded. When I do ls, I should be able to see GPL 3.0 text. It's a text file. Similarly, we also download the builds from the external source of tool, and we also download multiple files and multiple builds based on the requirement. Okay, cat script.sh. So anybody has any questions? You can replace this with any of the URL. Okay, or any of the file that you stored, and you can download that and try to check whether you were able to download it or not. Okay, clear with this, everybody?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and also we have some of the loops in scripting. So I'll give a basic syntax for while loop and for loop. Okay, while loop. So how this while loop works, the basic syntax for while is while provide a condition. Okay, condition do. So here you should point colon do, and statement. When I'm calling statement, it is echo statement only, and close the while, done. Okay, so this is the basic syntax. Okay, I'll give here statement should come here and done should come here. Okay, and similarly we use for loop. See, while loop and for loops are very common in scripting. Sorry, it's for loop. Okay, and we use for I in the syntax for I in value. Okay, do, and here also the statement. Okay, and for will close by done. Okay, so while and for loop works in a loop iterations. Okay, and for also works in iterations. Okay, there are difference between while loop and for loop. You guys can go through it. Okay, so this is the basic simple syntax for while loop and for loop. Okay, and there is one more called case. I will also give that. Okay, case loop. So how this case loop works and the syntax for case, I'll give just a minute. Okay, so the case works on multiple requirement or multiple scenarios. Okay, that is the time the case works. Okay, how case works? Let's start with the case loop. Case $value in. Okay, and value 1. I'll give value 1, close the bracket, and statement, close the loop for value 1, and value 2, close the bracket, and statement, close the value 2, and then value 3, statement. Okay, and close value 3, and similarly for star, value, and then statement, and close the star value. And to close this case, this should come here, value 2, value 3, and all the values. And case loop should get closed with ulta of case, means ESAC. Case loop opened here and closed here, and similarly while loop opened here and closed with done, and similarly for loop opened here and closed with done, and similarly for case loop opened here and closed with ESAC. Okay, so let's discuss on further loops for while loop, for loop, and case loop in further session. Let's work on all the loops, scripts on all the loops. Okay, any doubts and any questions on this? Am I audible, guys?
No doubts. No.
Yes.
So basically I have given the syntax for the case loop, and then for loop, while loop, and then some of the scripts on end if, rif, and then the file used to download it. Okay, and set-x is basically to, the script is works in debug mode. Okay, if no questions, let's wind up the session. Let's connect evening for Q&A, and from tomorrow let's discuss on, let's work on all the scripts. Just a minute, guys, please. Okay, let's connect in evening. Okay, I'll share this in group. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.